after a unprecedented Game 1 between Oklahoma State and Cincinnati, where Oklahoma State ended up victorious 3-2 after coming back 2 goals down. We are here in Kansas City, specifically CPKC Stadium, to watch Game 2 of the Big 12 Soccer Championships presented to you by Sprouts. We are here in Game 2 where we see Colorado face off against Utah in a game that's supposed to bring off fireworks. My name is Joao Lara, and I'm here with Luke Lendler.
I'm excited to be here, Joao. This should be a pretty good game. I mean, we're seeing, can't even say an old rivalry reignited because these teams have loved to follow each other around conference to conference in both the history of these two programs, both Big 12 schools, both suddenly Pac-12 schools now back to the Big 12, their first season in a conference with a postseason tournament. So some postseason experience for both these teams that not a lot of players on each squad have. Only 3 players on this Colorado team has ever played in a conference tournament. Their keeper, Jordan Knights, who comes from Oklahoma State. An interconference transfer, has definitely been the Buffs' best player all season.
And this game is, it's definitely going to be interesting. And then the game after too, the winner of Colorado versus Utah ends up playing the number 1 seed, TCU. So it's definitely interesting to see how it's going to play out. Now these teams played each other 5 days ago. They played each other on the 25th. So they played each other actually 5-6 days ago. So it's pretty interesting to see them go back to back, and then now in a playoff format.
Yeah, this familiar territory for both these teams. I mean, they saw each other, like you mentioned, less than a week ago. It was a 0-0 draw though, which I think is going to show that these two teams play different styles. Colorado very much like to sit back, control the game, control possession. They have their strength is in the back. 3 great defenders that have to play 3 at the back. Jordan Knights is an incredible goalkeeper. Really, probably she was given best goalkeeper in the Big 12 honors. She made first team all conference. She's excellent, and she's kind of somebody that teams like to kind of build their identity around. And so for Colorado, they don't concede a lot, but they also don't score a lot. No goals in their last 4 games. And Utah's a team that really likes to run up the scoring. They're a high-pressure, high-press team. They want to force your backline and make mistakes. So ultimately, I think one of the keys to this game is how can Colorado manage the early Utah aggression, manage the early Utah press, and ultimately let cooler heads prevail and come out on top. Because, like you mentioned, I mean, the winner of this game faces the best team in the conference. So it's kind of out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak, if you come out on top here. But still, I think what should be a pretty good game. We have 2 teams playing differing styles. I think we're going to end up seeing Colorado control possession in the first half. I feel confident in them, a lot of seniority in that back line, but also youthful energy too. Ava Priest, player to watch. She's going to start at probably right center back for Coach Danny Sanchez of the Buffaloes. 3 goals, that's second on the team, and she's a defender. It's the most goals by a defender on the team. She's got 4 assists. That leads the team in general. She's not only is she a solid presence in the back line, she's a threat going forward, and I think she could serve to have a big impact in today's game.
And especially with the contrast in styles, it's always interesting to see how a game is going to play out. And then I said it before the beginning of the last game, these are Big 12 championship games. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, it's win or go home for these teams. They're getting desperate.
Yep, win or go home. Go big or go home. Cincinnati, unfortunately, had to pack their bags after last game. And once again, they looked like they had control of the game, and they looked like they had that win. But Oklahoma State, once again, showing grit. And these teams are now getting onto the field, having their pep talks, and we're moments from starting the second game here from Kansas City, Missouri.
And I mean, like I mentioned, these 2 teams are familiar with each other. Not only have they played, once in the last week, they've played over 40 times. These are 2 squads that have met each other a lot. Colorado, though, unbeaten in the last 6 versus Utah, 3 wins and 3 draws, all low-scoring games. I mean, there was a 2-2 draw all the way back in 2021 in the COVID season. Other than that, it's been 1-0 wins. It's been 0-0 draws, and that's exactly how Colorado likes to play. They want to slow you down, want to grind you out, and they really want to build up from the back where they have not only a good back line, but the best goalkeeper in the Big 12. Whereas in terms of Utah, they're going to try to push it up and push it forward. Katie O'Kane, the Seattle native, attacking mid, had a hat trick versus Weber State earlier this season. She transferred from UW in 2022, and she's a threat not only to assist goals, kind of play make for other players, but to try from distance as well. And I think it should be a pretty good display of talent we see in this first round in the Big 12.
And then number 8, Utah, doing amazing things with one of the smallest rosters on paper, according to head coach Hideki Nakata. 25 players on their roster. Ball is now rolling here from CPKC Stadium, where Utah tries to play a long ball along that right side of the pitch.
And that's a similar tactic we've seen Utah deploy a couple times. To start the game, they're happy to give the ball to the other team because they want to get aggressive and press right from the start.
Colorado attacking left to right. Utah attacking right to left. Another throw-in for the Buffs. Off of that right side of the pitch. Short ball now played with number 2, Ava Priest. Priest losing the ball in the middle of the pitch. Utah now at the attack. It's going to go ahead and be a shot from right outside the box. Goalkeeper Knights controlling that with ease.
Lilia Bloom with a nice chance, capitalizing on a Colorado mistake. Maybe the nerves taking over a little bit here, but the Buffaloes are going to want to be smart with the ball against this aggressive Utah press.
For sure, and let's see how they manage. And one key thing, especially when you're playing a possession-based game, is patience. Patience, patience, patience. Obviously, you have to alter it against a high-pressing squad such as Utah. You do have to be patient and concise with your passes, but you have to know when to let go. Colorado now with the ball from the back.
And we just saw in that Utah possession the first touch, the first look at Taliana Kafusi. She's great. Kind of a classic number 9. She wears number 8. She's a classic number 9. A big target to hit. Kind of pin off defenders, seal off defenders with her back, and distribute. But also a threat aerially. 3 header goals in the season, leads the team. She certainly is a threat to kind of score in all different ways.
And you see that out of a lot of Big 12 strikers. Freshman of the year, Kara Blundell, and many other names too. They've demonstrated that same capacity, and it's a standard here in the Big 12. Colorado now playing from the back with Knights. Knights with pressure from Utah has to let that ball go early. Ball at the feet now. Ball at the feet of Miranda. Miranda trying to play a ball up that right side. Utah defender rejecting very well. Now it's Utah from the back near the 18-yard box. Utah now losing the ball. Recovering at the feet of number 18, Bloom. Bloom now running down the pitch with pressure from a Colorado player. Nice feint from Bloom. Lets a shot out. But it is Knights in the back of the goal. Plays the ball to the right quickly.
Cool as you like, Jordan Knights. That's what she does so well. Just a calm presence back there. A classic netminder. The netminder you want. Someone that's going to command her back line, command her troops, but also just make the save when necessary. She doesn't have to be the hero all the time, but she's comfortable kind of taking on a little bit more responsibility. But both teams kind of feeling each other out so far. We're looking at a team that likes to be aggressive and a team that likes to be conservative, and so they're going to try to, it's like an old boxing match. They're going to kind of jab at each other, try to feel each other out, get good sense for how far away they are from each other, and then that first haymaker is going to come.
For sure. And Utah now losing the ball from the back. Shot let off from Holly, but it's going to go ahead and be Wardle from the back. Nestling that ball and just commanding their players from the back. Taking your time. And same thing, whether you're Utah or Colorado, you can't make those mistakes in the back. You can't mindlessly just give off a pass and hope you find the target. You have to have someone. You have to have an indicated target, because if not, it can be one shot and you could be down already.
And that
simple mistake.
Shot that you just described, Jace Holly, our first look at her, 4 game-winning goals in the season. So if it's the first half, she's probably not going to score.
Cross inside the box. Rejected by Granger from Utah. It's going to go ahead and be a Colorado corner kick. And interesting stat you presented there. Let's see if she can change the tides a little bit here.
Yeah, all four of Jace Holly's goals in the season, game winners. She's got the clutch gene. But, I mean, from your number 9, maybe you want a little bit more than 4 goals. But game winners, game winners. She gets wins, she gets wins.
Exactly. Hayward with the cross inside the box. Ball now soaring over the middle. Ends up hitting off of the head of Shira James. Goes over the bar. Now out for a Utah goal kick.
Good look there for James. That was the first real chance I felt of this game by both teams. I mean, both teams have a shot on goal, but they're measly shots from distance, kind of not very close. But that was a good look from James. She got up there just kind of a little low, and the header sailed the ball over the crossbar.
Correct. 40 minutes now played from CPKC Stadium. The game is currently 0-0 between Utah and Colorado as Utah tries to launch an attack down that left wing. But it will be a throw-in for Colorado. It is Rosen now with the ball, desperately looking for someone. Can't find anybody. Cedes possession to Utah. Utah now playing the ball with Bloom. Bloom running down that right wing again. Wants to let it cross off inside the box, but it will be Miranda who's there to put a foot on it and send it out for the throw-in.
Sweet feet there from Bloom. Operated her way down the right wing quite well and gave Utah a pretty, a nice attacking threat. Probably not many XG coming out of that chance, but still, it's pressure on that Colorado back line, and that's exactly what Utah wants to do. The ball at their feet, the ball not at their feet. They're going to put as much pressure on Miranda and even Knights in goal and Priest in that CDM role. They're going to put as much pressure on them as possible.
And at some point, with enough pressure, something has to crumble, and that's what Utah is going to be looking for. It might not be right now, but in later stages of the game, when you're tired and when your mind is thinking about different things, Utah can take that opportunity and look for the advantage.
Same thing can happen the other way, though. If Utah gasses themselves out from pressing all game, all of a sudden, it's exactly what Colorado wants. Colorado kind of invites the pressure. They want them to tire themselves out, and they can kind of capitalize in the second half. I think we could see a very low-scoring game where, somebody wins it in the last 10 minutes.
Very true. As we see Holly now running down through the middle of the 18-yard box. Utah rejecting that ball. Sort of like a volleyball game in the middle. And now there's a tussle near the 18-yard between O'Kane and Priest. Utah winning that battle. And now it's Bloom with the ball. Looking for a cross over the top. But it is going to go ahead and be Knights who comes out again. Takes her time and scoops up that ball. Takes it away from danger. Now we see Priest in the middle of the pitch.
And Priest, like a free roamer at center back. That's how Danny Sanchez likes to use her, kind of giving her a lot of freedom. That's why he plays 3 at the back, because she would be probably his 4th defender if he played like a solid 4 backline. But he likes giving her kind of a lot of freedom to kind of slide up from that center back position and operate in the midfield a lot. And I think we're seeing Colorado kind of shape themselves into a 4-person back line right now, which is going to put in Laura Govin at right back, which we haven't seen her feature there a lot this year. But an interesting attacking switch up for them, probably just doing their best to control Utah going up the wings.
And it's understandable. Utah has great wingers such as Bloom and such as Kafusi. I mean, it's you have to have something to counter that explosivity. And there's going to go ahead and be what seems to be Colorado corner kick throw-in. Colorado corner kick as players now start.
Oh, look at that little
It's
flip
a
throw.
throw-in with a nice little flip throw.
Got almost all the way to the middle of the 18. That was impressive skill.
Never seen that in person. Wow. Colorado now trying to play from the back. Pressure from number 24 Woods.
Utah trying to find Bloomfield up that right wing. Seems to be their lead weapon, the tip of the spear for their counterattack, which is probably their biggest threat of goal scoring. It's been their biggest threat of goal scoring all season, is those counterattacks, because they're a pacey team. They're fast, they're quick, they move quite well, and it's something that they try to use to their advantage, especially against maybe bigger, perhaps slower teams like Colorado.
Correct. And ball that was trying to find number 7 Kelly Bullock down that left wing, not able to control, goes out for a Colorado throw-in near their box. Dangerous position regardless. If they lose the ball there, Utah can seize the moment and try to get up on top. Ball bounces off of Bullock once again down that left flank. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Ball given in from Gubin. Gubin finding number 20, James. Ball goes out once again. It was number 3, Blaylock, who sent the ball out of bounds. And Colorado with a nice ball over the top, finding Leyva. Leyva now running towards the 18-yard box. Has to give the possession back to her sister, Faith Leyva.
Twin sisters.
Twin sisters. Faith Leyva trying to play that ball down the right flank. Ceding possession to Utah. Utah now playing with number 3, Brooklyn Blaylock, down the left flank. Having to play with the goalkeeper, Casey Wardle. Colorado not allowing any openings for Utah. Positioned very well, but Utah now maneuvering the ball in such a way down the middle, now crossing the middle of the pitch in such a manner that allows them to find space. It allows the players to find themselves in an open position where they can do stuff with the ball.
Yeah, and Colorado they're playing a higher defensive line than we've seen them. Perhaps maybe trying to use Utah's speed against them, catch them off sides a couple times. But 4 at the back is not a familiar tactic for Danny Sanchez's squad, but it's something he clearly felt confident in his team enough to employ here today. I think they're trying to really take advantage of Utah's aggressiveness and maybe catch them unawares in a counterattack as they feed the middle of the box.
Hayward now with Holly. Holly at the middle 18-yard box. Bloom tries to reject. Ball finds Leyva. There's troubles back in Utah. Number 20, James, letting off a shot, but goes straight to the hands of Wardle. And another opportunity here for Colorado. Some could even say a missed opportunity.
It was almost a nightmare giveaway from Utah. Just kind of unsure of what to do with the ball at the back. You couldn't really, Bella Woods didn't really have an idea what to do with it. Looking around, couldn't find options around, just kind of panicked, stuck her leg out, poked the ball, and it fell right in the lap of Shira James, who just could not find the back of the net, puts it right into the gloves, putting it right into the gloves of Aaron Gibbs.
Colorado now with the wasted opportunity. Utah trying to find themselves at the attack, but it's going to go ahead and be Miranda who takes the ball once again away at near the middle of the pitch. And there's going to be a throw-in for Utah, passing that middle line. Colorado's half on the left flank.
Colorado continuing this aggressive defense. Utah's probably been inside their 18 once all game. 13 minutes gone. Colorado's already had a couple chances. We're seeing the Buffs kind of on the front foot so far to start this one. I'm interested to see how their tactics might evolve, though, because they don't want to sit in the same position all game. But it seems like at this point, the Utes are just throwing darts to the wall, trying to see if they can get one chance, maybe draw out a Colorado mistake, not necessarily having that same aggressive, high-pressing defensive line as they do before. Because really, the Buffaloes aren't getting pushed around. Their back line is kind of staying very strong, staying up between their 18 and the halfway line, about the middle of that, not letting themselves get pushed back, not finding themselves afraid of any Utes aggression or Utah attack. And so they've been in control so far because of that.
And you're correct. And, they do have to end up switching up their tactics at some point. With 31 minutes left in this first half, there's still a lot of games to go. Cross going inside from Colorado. Finds the hands of Wardle. Once again, it was Gubin down that right flank who's trying to look inside, who's trying to look for a cross inside, and ball ended up bouncing off of a Utah defender, but it's now safe in the hands of Wardle. Wardle playing with Hetzel down the left flank. Hetzel, who had to play with Granger, and Granger ceding possession for the Utes. Utes now recovering the possession with number 8, Kaufusi. Kaufusi, who had to play with Woods. Woods played wide with Bloom. Bloom now playing with Granger. Once again with Bloom. Middle of the pitch. Can't give a good pass to Granger, and Colorado gets the ball from a throw-in. Now down the left flank. Who seems to be Priest. Priest playing the ball wide to number 4, Gubin. Gubin not able to control the ball there. Utah recovers, and there's the ball going over the top to number 8, Kaufusi. Ball ends up bouncing off of her head. It's going to go and be a Colorado throwing.
Priest
Utah
all over the
throwing.
field, as usual. Kind of what we've seen from her is to just be a threat, be a weapon. That's how they want to deploy her. That's how she likes to be deployed. I mean, that's what Danny Sanchez had in mind when he kind of gave her this free roaming role out of the back, just to kind of just be an X, be a star, and just find plays and make plays across the field. That's why she leads the team in assists. She's stepping up to challenge. I mean, backline play right now, and before she's inevitably probably going to fall back into like a CDM or a right center mid role. But she's been active. She's been all over the place today.
If it isn't broken, don't fix it. And, I mean, Coach Danny Sanchez has been at the helm for, 13 years now, and he, more than anybody else, should know what works and what doesn't work with this Colorado side. Colorado now playing from the back with Leyba. Leyba playing wide with Miranda. Miranda trying to send a through ball down the right flank to James. Ball's rejected by Utah. Miranda ends up covering that ball to go out for a throw-in. And it's going to go and be Gubin down that right side, playing short with Hayward. And Colorado Colorado has complications in their exit. Ends up losing the ball, and now it's Utah. Utah Bloom. Bloom running down the middle of the field. Now plays it to her striker, number 24, Woods, who lets off a shot. But it's Knights who's there to receive the ball, and Knights is giving some indications to her player. She did not like that action at all, and it makes sense. They left Woods open, and they gave Woods the opportunity to shoot.
Colorado perhaps lulling themselves to sleep. I mean, with the amount of control they've had so far in the first half of this game, the defensive line not necessarily as engaged as you'd hope.
But now we see Colorado's turn with a shot from right outside the box, right side to Wardle, and it was Holly who tried to surprise Wardle from somewhere over the distance, around 22 yards.
Yeah, I mean, this game is interesting not only because it features two teams that are very close by, have a lot of history together, but also it's a pair of sisters against a pair of sisters. The Leyba sisters for the Colorado Buffaloes, Faith and Hope, very optimistic first names, starting at center back and forward today for the Buffaloes. Meanwhile, on the Utah side, you have Holly Blaylock and Brooklyn Blaylock, both Salt Lake City natives, both near and dear to the Utah program, who, they're not necessarily the twins that the Leybas are, but they're also a set of sisters themselves. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get all four on the pitch at the same time.
That would have to be history at some point. If the other Blaylock sister does end up getting on the pitch. Utah trying to play a long ball, and it's Kafusi who keeps the ball in down that left flank. Now fighting against Miranda. What is Kafusi going to do? Decides to play it back with her teammate Hetzel. Hetzel who has to play it quickly to Bullock. Bullock who was finding pressure from Rosenbaum and ends up getting a foul in the process. It's going to be a dead ball for Utah from their own half. Near that midway point. Place the ball short and sweet with Bullock once again. Bullock finding O'Kane. O'Kane trying to send the cross inside the box, but it's Knights who scoops up possession and decides to play it quickly with Hayward. Hayward now near that left flank. Tries to play a ball over the top to Leyba. And the Utah trying to clear his ball, but has some difficulties in the process. But now ends up just finding a touch to hit it out down that left side for a Colorado throw-in.
And then perhaps a reversal of expectations and the team personalities I set up before this game. We're seeing a lot of ball pressure from Colorado on this Utah backline. They've forced a couple mistakes so far. Danny Sanchez waving his arms around on the sideline. He probably wants more aggression. He wants more of that. His team's on the front foot so far. There's 26 minutes left in this first half. It's still 0-0. But the Buffaloes have shown that, they're willing and very able to be aggressive, especially to start this game. We'll see if that aggression will continue into the second half. But, to capitalize first, to go up first when you're Colorado, especially in the first half, would be huge. Like I said, they defend very well. They're more than happy to sit back and just let you just try to crack their back line. But, as they get themselves yet another corner kick, we could see, a continued threat on the Utah goal today.
And 25 minutes left from the riverbanks of the Missouri River. The game between Utah and Colorado is currently 0-0, as Colorado now looks for a cross inside the box. Colorado, who was very close around 10 minutes ago to finding a goal from the corner kick. Ball now soaring to the middle of the box. Rejected very well by Utah, but it's Colorado who ends up recovering at the 18. Colorado, who had found number 14 inside the box, unfortunately is in offside position. And it's going to go ahead and be a ball for Utah once again. Luke, how have you seen this first half so far?
Just like I said, it's been a reversal of not necessarily what I was expecting, but what these two teams' personalities and their play styles are like. We're seeing a lot of ball pressure from Colorado, trying to pounce on any Utah mistake. Maybe they did their scouting, they did their homework. They realized building up from the back, not necessarily Utah's strength, and Utah kind of tries to hide that and cover for that by just attacking aggressively with their front line and their their midfield and their striker, kind of their best players, their best options, seemingly both defensively and offensively. But Colorado's countered that well by just saying, hey, got to build it up from the back against us. We're going to put a lot of pressure on you. We're going to control the midfield. We're going to force you out wide, try to use your fullbacks, which definitely are the more inexperienced players in this Utah roster. Another turnover there for Colorado. And you have to feel like a goal is coming. It could be a Buffalo's chance. They finally break through, but they could also leave themselves flat-footed. I mean, we saw when Utah counterattacked earlier, Knights was not happy with their defensive line. She felt like they probably fell asleep a little bit and was barking at them, shouting at them after another shot on goal. But I think we're going to see a little bit of action soon, especially given how this game's kind of started out.
Correct, and I couldn't have put it any better, Luke. Describing this game very well, and at the same time, it's one as an experienced coach, just like Danny Sanchez, as an experienced coach. I mean, you realize you have to switch it up. Every game can't be the same, and they should know Utah like the back of their hand. I mean, they've been playing the program since 1988. But yeah, I mean, Colorado has been doing it very well so far, and it'd be nice to see what occurs throughout the end of this first half and the second half.
That aggression continuing down the right wing from Lilia Bloom. Gets herself into the Colorado 18. Goes down, goes to ground, looking for the call. Not going to get it, as we see Katie Calloway coming on for Taliana Kafusi. Kafusi, a great player. Really a classic, target man. But she, probably going to save her for the second half. Got a bit of a clutch gene, 2 game-winning goals on the season. So Katie Calloway is going to get her first look for the Utes here.
Ball now going over the top for Guven. Guven with a nice control down that right flank is trying to get near the box. Ends up playing it short to Priest. Priest, who is playing that free roam, just like how Luke said. An idea adapted by the Dutch in the 70s. As we now see Colorado try to play in that Utah box, but Utah, as soon as they get the ball, they either boot it or they can't have a positive sequence of touches, it seems.
I think we're seeing the Utes kind of acknowledge that they're on the back foot here, at least defensively, and they're compacting their back line a little bit, trying to prevent Colorado from getting wide, which sacrifices a bit of their possession potential going forward, but it results in a kind of a better defensive formation and stronger defensive lines.
As we now see Utah with Bloom. Bloom playing it wide to Blaylock. Blaylock now carrying this ball up the field. Plays it to Bullock in the middle of the pitch. At that middle line, has to play it back with her center back Granger. Granger now with Bloom. Bloom rushing down that pitch near the 18-yard box. Down the middle. Plays it wide to the left with O'Kane. O'Kane going near the box. Finding
there it is.
Woods inside the box, and she scores.
Colorado players clamoring for an offside. They've got their hands up, looking around. Not getting the call. Knights not happy with our back line defended there. Seemingly fell asleep. And there it is. Just what I was saying. It's that Utah counterattack. I mean, Colorado dominating possession in the first half. Just seemingly in full control of this game. They find themselves susceptible to one Utah counterattack. A great Lilia Bloom run. Kind of like an assist to an assist. Goes out wide for O'Kane. Suddenly, ball's in the back of the net. And it's Utah 1, Colorado 0 with 21-13 left in this first half.
And when it seemed that Colorado had the front foot, that they're creating opportunities, that they were going to control this game.
Yeah, not offsides. Very much a clean goal. Rosenbaum kept her onside. And there it is, 1-0 Utes.
But it all started with Bloom, too. The way Bloom carried that ball up the pitch and was desperately looking for something. It was that urgency that allowed Utah to seize the opportunity and go up on the scoreboard.
And Bloom's really been a source of energy for this team all season, but also this game specifically. She seems to be kind of the best attack aggression they have going forward. She's light on her feet, agile player. She's twirled, pirouetted around defenders so far in this game, and ends up with the ball in the back of the net for a game that, looking at the stat sheet, 5 shots Utah, 4 shots Colorado, 4 shots on target Utah, 3 shots on target Colorado. You'd think this game would be very, very even, but no. I mean, you and I have been here. Colorado's been dominating this game. They've had more legit, real chances. Knights hasn't had to be the hero, hasn't had to, step up in front of goal and save a lot of Utah shots, but all of a sudden, it's 1-0 Utes.
Hayward having to play the ball in the middle of Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum now finding Priest outside the box. Now gives the ball through to Holly. What's Holly going to do here? Lets off a shot. Ends up being deflected off of a Utah defender. Another opportunity for Colorado from the corner kick.
Continuing to be aggressive. That was probably the closest we've seen Colorado get all day, aside from that early mistake. Bloom doing well going forward there. Now we got to see if they can capitalize off this corner kick.
And 19 minutes on the clock from Kansas City, where Utah is currently leading against the Buffaloes 1-0. There's still a lot of time for Colorado to find something and try to get back into this game. And meanwhile, it's going to be Rosen with the cross inside the box. Ends up hitting the net over the top.
And it's a windy day in Kansas City. You and I can look at the American flag that's rigid, straight out. That's how hard the wind is blowing, and it's going in different directions. So I think that's going to make these corner kicks a little bit harder for both teams. Maybe take away the long ball a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's going to be who can be clinical with their passes and be crisp, build it up, and really not make a mistake anywhere on the pitch and find themselves a couple goals. Because it feels like you're going to win this game, you got to score a couple.
And for goalkeepers, speaking on the wind, it's even more difficult trying to launch a ball down the pitch, especially whenever the wind is changing in such forms. Utah now playing from the back with number 13 Bastone. Bastone laying it off to Granger. Granger with Wardle, and Wardle trying to hit a ball over the top to number 15 Hetzel. Colorado with possession. It's Gubin. Gubin who cedes possession to the Utes. Ball now going over the top. It's a foot race. Miranda versus Bullock. But instead, Knights is going to get there.
Turnover here.
But Knights has an error in distribution. Now it's Utah just outside the left side of the box. Bullock, who lets a right-footed shot off, looking for that top right corner. Sails wide, and Knights with a little bit of a scare there.
Yeah, she left her goal completely undefended on the edge of the 18, trying to distribute it up the middle somehow. Why, from the edge of the 18, not sure why. From the right edge, I should say. She puts it right to the feet of Katie Calloway, who is probably 30, 35 yards away from net. Doesn't want to try one from distance. Tries to get a little bit closer. Ends up dumping it off. And no goal for the Utes. But Colorado's gotta have to be careful here. I mean, they've been in control seemingly this entire game. But we say, they've been in control, possession. They seem like they're kind of scrambling right now, and they're kind of unsure of what they're going to do. It seems like that Utah goal kind of caught them off guard.
It caught them off guard, and it definitely affects the morale too. You think you're playing so well, and the game is going so well too, and you get scored on. It's like a bucket of cold water. They're definitely very impatient right now. Utah now trying to find something off the attack with James. James running down that right flank. Lets a ball over, trying to find Leyva. Goes wide, and it's going to go out for a Utah throw-in from the right side of the pitch. Near their own box. They have to be cautious in the way they're going to distribute this. And it is Blaylock. It is Blaylock who's going to distribute this ball, not with a lot of options, and not a lot of her teammates are moving around either. Ball that finds Bloom. Bloom, who was out of bounds.
And we're seeing some substitutions here for Colorado. Emerson Lane going to make an appearance. She's appeared in all 18 so far this season for Colorado. She's somebody that, Danny Sanchez kind of sometimes likes to wait and use in the second half, but, it's win or go home time, and he's not trying to be patient, super patient today. We're also seeing a feature from Moschetti, Angelina Moschetti. She hasn't featured in as many games. Only one goal to her name. She scored it in the first game of the season, only featuring in 12 games so far this season, but Sanchez is really trying to do whatever he can to perhaps spark an end of the first half goal here for his Buffaloes.
Man, they're not playing from the back. Trying to find the ball over the top to Leyva, and does. Leyva, who lays it off to Priest. Priest finding pressure from 1, 2, 3 Utah defenders. Has to lay the ball off, and it's Miranda once again. Still in Ute territory, but not in a great position. Ball going over the top.
Chance,
and it's hit out by Casey Wardle. Across it and found the head of Shira James. But Wardle with the one-handed acrobatic save to send it to the corner kick.
That was incredible. Really a great save. I mean, which one of these goalkeepers was Big 12 goalkeeper of the year again? Because I honestly can't tell. They're both playing great. Wardle with the best save of the day by a mile reaches over her head and tips the ball over the crossbar after yet another point-blank header for Shira James. She's going to want a lot of these back. She's gotten about 3 good looks to the net, all from seemingly 6 yards away. And this is the first one she really put on target, but it was a nice save there from Wardle.
Utah with another cross into the box. Hit well, trying to find Leyva, but is rejected by the Utah defenders. And now it's going to go ahead and be number 20, Katie O'Kane, who recovers the ball for the Utes. Gives it off to number 7, Kelly Bullock. Bullock has to play it wide with Bloom, and Bloom once again with Bullock. Now playing with O'Kane in the middle of the park. Lets a shot out from distance.
Wow,
trying to surprise Knights there. Knights, who gets a touch on it, hits it out of bounds. 13 minutes left here. 13 minutes left here in the first half from CPKC Stadium for your Game 2 of the Big 12 Soccer Championships presented to you by Sprouts Farmers Market. And we have a corner kick for the Utes, who look to extend their lead from 1 to 2.
First corner kick so far for Utah. Not a team that operates extremely well from set pieces, but anybody can be threatening, especially from a corner kick on such a windy day.
Ball into the middle of the box, finding Woods, and Woods, who try to head it into that right side of the goal, but ends up deflecting off of a Colorado defender. It's going to go ahead and be another corner kick for the Utes. This time, Katie O'Kane at the corner kick, and there will be a substitution for the Utes. Coming off, it's going to go ahead and be number 18, Lilia Bloom. And coming on, it's going to go ahead and be number 5, Kelly Blaylock. Cross inside the box. Hitting off of a Utah forward. Hits off of the crossbar. Danger averted. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go ahead and be a Colorado goal kick. Another substitution here, this time for Colorado. Coming off number 45, Hope Leyva. And coming on for the Utes is going to go ahead and be number 6, Lola Stanley.
After a pretty good chance there for Utah off the corner kick. Ultimately, they want to pull it back out. This team seems to be pretty content to go into the half up 1-0. I mean, as I say that, they continue to be aggressive and attack down this right flank. As there's a shot there from Utah deflected off the back of Laura Govin. But this is a team that I think is going to go into the locker room if they can hold on to this 1-0 lead, maybe make it a 2-0 lead. They're going to be happy with how they've played. Very happy. And with Colorado, it feels like they've really left some food on the plate. You know what I mean? They've really left a couple unfinished chances, and they've kind of let a couple opportunities slip away where, they could have equalized or even taken the lead before the Utah goal.
Hayward now trying to rush down that left flank for Colorado. has the pressure of Blaylock on, but gives a nice through ball still down that left side to number 6, Lola Stanley. Lola Stanley, who tries to find the cross inside the box, rejected by Utah. Once again, this Colorado playstyle is sort of starting to become a little predictable, don't you think?
Yeah, it seems like they kind of have been expecting a goal by now, and they seem to have this notion that, once they score once, they'll switch it up, kind of try to keep Utah on their toes. But at this point, Utah seems to kind of taking Colorado's biggest punch, and they seem to be sitting back and handling what the Buffaloes are giving them pretty well. I mean, we're seeing another corner kick here. Colorado can be threatening from these. We've seen, Lane get a couple chances. We've seen James get a couple chances. They could be threatening here.
Laura Gouvin with the cross inside the box, trying to find Juliana Hayward. Ball is still with Leyba. Leyba inside the box. Almost found James. James, who couldn't get a touch on it. Utah trying to clear that ball out. Now it's a cross inside the box from Colorado. But eventually, Wardle with the ball in her hands. Dangerous cross that almost found Lane there in the process.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Continuing. Just Colorado not relenting with making this Utah defense really earn their lead. But at the end of the day, the Utes are standing up strong. We're seeing a nice performance from Casey Wardle, but, Brooklyn Blaylock playing well, and really just the rest of that Utah back line kind of, getting their money's worth today.
Knights with Leyba. Leyba distributing the ball down the left side to Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum, who tries to find Hayward. Colorado losing possession to Utah. It's going to go ahead and be a Utes throw-in.
And right now, if you're the Utah Utes, there is 9 minutes and 30 seconds left before halftime. You are winning 1-0. You are your lower seeded team. This is a team that you've had problems beating the last few years. You just cannot slip up. You do not want to make a silly mistake and squander what has honestly, in my opinion, been a wildly impressive first half. We're seeing them operate kind of out of their comfort zone and not necessarily play the game the way they want to play it, and they're still winning 1-0. Colorado was dictating the shape and the pace of this game early. But Utah said, we're an aggressive pressing team, but watch us drop back and watch us counterattack. And they did that successfully in the first half. So if you're the Utes, the biggest thing you have to do right now is really almost nothing. You don't want to have anything slip up, anything bad happen. Keep your head, be mature, and come out of this first half feeling really good about yourself in the dressing room.
And these team talks are definitely going to be interesting too. Utah player number 5, Callie Blaylock, who was offsides. But it's definitely going to be interesting to hear these team talks here at halftime. See what's adjusted, see what's not adjusted, see what's going to change overall in this game. There's still a lot of time left in this game, and even then, Oklahoma State was down 2 goals in the first game, and they came back in a span of 25 minutes. So, I mean, it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, it really, it's possible for both these teams. But I'd feel a little bit more confident in Colorado coming back if they'd scored a goal in their last 4 matches, which they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
They've only lost once in those 4 matches. It's been 3 scoreless draws and a 1-0 defeat. But at the end of the day, this team has not shown a lot going forward recently in the month of October. And they're going to have to kind of change their ways if they want to continue their season because 7:35 left in this first half. Danny Sanchez barking out instructions from the touchline. But this is kind of where it falls. It's going to start falling on the players soon. It's going to be up to the players. The manager can only do so much to really kind of step up, embrace the moment, and potentially save their season.
Nice control by James. James playing wide to Priest. Priest now dancing between the Utah defender on that right flank. Has to play it with Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum who found Miranda. Miranda trying to find James inside the box. Nice touch from James, but is hit out by the Utah defender. Now it's Utah who wants their own turn at the attack. It's number 3, Brooklyn Blaylock. Plays it wide to Granger. Granger who has to play back with Alex Schoenstatt. Now playing with Woods. Woods who decides to play a ball up the pitch. Now it's Dudley. Dudley trying to play a ball over and does end up finding Blaylock, Brooklyn Blaylock, who can't get a nice touch on the ball. It's going to go ahead and head out for It's going to go ahead and go out for a goal kick, Colorado goal kick here with 6 minutes left. Utah still leading this game 1-0 here at CPKC Stadium.
Substitution here for Colorado. Sammy Fisher is going to come on for Shira James. Fisher featuring in 13 matches this year. She started 10 of them. You know, she's a goal-scoring threat, transfer from Florida, redshirt freshman. You know, only played a couple games for the Gators last year before coming over to Boulder. And again, it's about finding that spark. If you're Danny Sanchez for Colorado, you want anything to kind of propel you forward because you've been in that final third, but it's about finishing. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net. It's about cleaning up possessions and not going into halftime feeling like you've left a goal or two on the board.
I mean, the clearest one was the James shot that went directly to Wardle.
James had a turnover. We had the ball at her feet. Basically, it was basically a penalty kick. Honestly, it was basically a penalty kick. And she sent it right at Wardle with not a lot of power behind it. And a better placed shot could have resulted in something different. James also had a nice header opportunity. James has been active. She's been on the front of a lot of chances. She just hasn't really kind of deposited one yet. And so this is a foul by Utah. That was number 23, Katie Calloway, committed the foul. You have to think that James is going to make another cameo in the second half. Sanchez trusts her a lot. And I think it's going to be a massive feeling of relief if she can put one in the back of the net because she knows she's had a couple chances. She's kind of sitting there on the bench right now just thinking about it, analyzing it. What can she do differently next time? And she knows. And she's going to talk to Sanchez, talk to her assistant coaches, figure that out, and try to perhaps score a nice equalizer for the Buffs in the second half as there's 4:30 left in this first period.
4:30 left. This first half is slowly dying here by the second, but the game definitely isn't. This game still has lots of life. There's still lots to play for. There's still a lot to play. As Utah now finds the attack, it's Blaylock. Blaylock, who was on goal, but Leba gets back with speed. Plays it off to Blaylock, but nice cutoff by Hayward. Hayward with Leba. Finding number 11, Rosenbaum, who's tripped up in the process. There's a foul.
And there's the Utah aggression that we're kind of familiar with. They're not afraid to commit fouls. Not a lot of yellow cards on this team, so they stay pretty disciplined with their fouls. But they're not afraid to be a little physical. They're a tall team. They might be small in terms of the number of players they have on their roster, but they're a big team physically, and they like to impose their will upon their opponents. But at this point, Colorado is searching for anything. There's 3.5 minutes left in this first half. There's not going to be any added time in college soccer, and they just want anything, something that they can come into halftime 1-1 ideally for them, and just think, listen, we equalized. We're right back where we started. And we can attack in the second half and control the tempo more because they, command is perhaps too strong of a word, but they have been kind of dictating the pace of play today. Utah's been defending for most of the day, but still, it's 1-0 Utes just off that counterattack and off some Colorado perhaps laziness in the back line.
As Colorado looks for throwing once again off the left flank.
Could we see a flip throw here, Joao, do you think?
It could possibly be. And yup, Priest
there
once again with the flip throw. Nice floated flip throw inside the box. But it is rejected by number 6, Dudley. Utah now trying to pressure Knights. Knights who
nice ball.
Puts a nice ball inside the box, but it's rejected once again by Utah. And now we see Blaylock try to clear the ball, but Colorado now recovering. It's number 19, Angelina Moschetti, who ends up playing it to Hayward. Hayward trying to give a cross inside the box, rejected by Utah. Now close to the 18. It's Rosenbaum, who had the opportunity to shoot, plays it wide down the right side with Gubin. Gubin trying to find another cross again. Too much power. And it's going to go ahead and be another goal kick for Utah.
High looping cross from Gubin. Perhaps the wind getting the better of her again. It hasn't really died down here. It's still whipping pretty hard. It's honestly even changed direction. So hard to predict where the ball is going to go when it's high in the air. But nonetheless, again, Colorado, they got to be kind of happy with how they've played and happy with the chance they're getting, but disappointed that they haven't scored yet. And especially with the fact they're losing, because Utah's going to thrive on this because they know Colorado's going to get more aggressive. And the second the Buffs slip up, bang, there go the Utes. They can be aggressive in the counterattack. We've seen that so far today, and they also can just kind of press your back line and force your defender into a silly little mistake or a giveaway.
Once again, Utah could find the counterattack, and it could be something dangerous for the Utes. In the meanwhile, 50 seconds now left in the first half as we see Colorado with the ball, now losing it in their own half.
Priest dispossessed. That doesn't happen often.
That does not happen often, and now we see Bullock on the ball. Bullock playing with Woods. Woods playing wide with Hetzel. Hetzel playing it close to number 10, Lovell. Lovell, who tried to find number 23, Callaway. It's rejected by Colorado. This ball is now out for a Utah throw-in.
And the Utes seemingly happy to just kind of trot into halftime, up 1-0, not trying to be too aggressive going forward here and expose himself in the back. Perhaps wasting a little time. There's just 10 seconds left in this first half. Probably not going to see much action.
But not just that, they can't become too timid in their style of play. They still have to maintain some sort of form of aggressiveness, and they have to continue, keeping possession of the ball and not becoming impatient and
they don't
impatient.
They don't lose their identity. Their identity is being an aggressive team. And so, in that last minute, we saw them be timid, but that last minute is understandable. So we'll see how these two teams come out in the second half. I'm intrigued to see how dynamics might shift, how dynamics might stay the same. Maybe we're in for 90 whole minutes of just Colorado attack, Utah defense, and counterattack, which would definitely be different than what I was expecting. But nonetheless, if it works for Utah, it works for Utah. And Colorado seems to be content to control the game, assuming that they might get a chance to score and actually bury the ball in the back of the net.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was the first half of Game 2 of the Big 12 Soccer Championships presented to you by Sprouts Farmers Market. We will be right back after a short break.
I thought I released a good album until Naughty Step said it was bad.
I hear this project and I am frustrated.
I better listen to Blaze Radio.
Hi, I'm Pedro. Did you know you can listen to anything? Blaze Radio says you can, and so do I. I believe that until listened to, every song, album, EP, and DJ set is hot until proven otherwise. And that's why I fight for you, Headbangers Hot FM. Hot FM on Blaze Radio. Listen live every Monday at 11 a.m. on blazeradioonline.com. That's blazeradioonline.com.
Is what I wanted. Is what I've been waiting for these cars to come off of this corner. And guys, it's showtime. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing today, boys.
Are you a racing fan or want to learn more about the sport? Join Cooper Burns and Eric List every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Blaze Radio as they discuss everything from NASCAR to dirt racing and more on Fuel for Thought.
How to throw a football. How to hit a baseball off a bat. How to make a basketball go through the hoop and make that swish sound. These are all questions we wonder when we are learning how to play a sport. But have you ever wondered what it may be like to interview someone who is in the sports industry? Like, how do I become a broadcaster? How do I become a graphic designer? How do I become a public address announcer? It's all here. How to Sports, your go-to sports industry leading show here on Blaze Radio and blazeradioonline.com. Tune in every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. with Ryan Pasesnik, Max Williams, and Tyler Wargo. How to Sports. It's in the game.
Grab your mates and join us for the finest sports show on Blaze Radio, The Irish Hello.
With the wisdom of the Irish duo, you'll have the knowledge of old pals at the pub, sharing each and every moment.
Join Aidan O'Neill and Shay Maloney every Wednesday night from 8:30 to 9:30 for breakdowns of sports news across the world as a pot of gold awaits.
Welcome to 4 on 4, where we have all 4 experts on the 4 major sports. Join Sammy Newt, Dylan Wickman, Justin DeHaas, and Sean Brennan on Blaze Radio as they break down an exciting semester of sports that includes the MLB postseason, top NFL storylines, the biggest offseason news from the NBA and NHL, and anything relevant happening in the sports world. At the end of the day, we're just 4 roommates that love to talk sports, so join the conversation. Listen live on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Arizona time, or if you missed us, check us out on Spotify, where you can hear all of our shows.
Hi, I'm Casey McNulty.
And I'm Brooklyn Cohen.
And welcome to The Hot Seat, where each week we answer your burning sports questions. Want to hear us settle sports debates and talk about our biggest takes in the sports world? Well, we've got you covered.
As 2 former athletes and current sports journalists, we offer the perspective of what it's like to be on the field or court
or pool.
So tune in every week at 10 a.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
See you in the hot seat.
Coming this fall, Friday Night Lights Camera Action, Blaze Radio's premier sports movie talk show returns.
There's no crying in Friday Night Lights Camera Action.
If you ain't first, then watch Friday Night Lights Camera Action.
Guys, there are rich teams and there are poor teams. And then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's people who don't watch Friday Night Lights Camera Action.
Remember the time Friday Night Lights Camera Action showed up at halftime and Blaze Radio won the Bourbon Bowl? Friday Night Lights Camera Action, Friday starting at 9 p.m. Arizona time on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Now go out there and take it.
What's up, everyone? Life is confusing, so I, Natalia Marin, have decided to answer some of life's wonders, asking the question, does it work? AKA the name of my new show, Does It Work? Will have fun conversations featuring my hours of research, evaluating if cultural phenomenons, government systems, and psychological theories actually work. Make sure to listen live every Monday at 9 a.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com to see, if it works.
Just a music show on Tuesdays from 3:30 to 4:30. A show about sampling. Hosted by a city boy named Shane Saya. Talking about free samples.
Ever feel like you don't quite fit the mold?
A Little Unorthodox breaks it completely.
Join us as we dive into the messy intersections of faith, identity, and culture with stories that don't always follow the rules.
From in-depth interviews
to live event coverage,
we're here to explore what it really means to belong or not.
Join us, Emily Fox-Million
and Abe Mogelson,
on Sunday at 11 a.m.
Because sometimes the best way to make sense of it all is by getting a little unorthodox.
Yes, sir. Nah, I'm hearing what you're saying, but what's your take though? Yeah, he's cool, but Heisman? That team don't got nobody on there who could shoot any type of threes. I'm supposed to believe they're a playoff team? You're not answering the question. The question is, who is the better football team right now? Hey, I like that take right there. And it's not even close. What are we talking about? There's no midfielder as naturally talented as him in the last 20 years. Tune in to Let's Talk Takes every week, hosted by me, Devin Henderson, where I bring in different guests each week and we debate the most pressing topics in a variety of sports. I'm talking NFL, NBA, college basketball, college football. We even gonna talk about some soccer. Tune in every week, Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. right here on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Hey, it's me again. It's your good friend, Max Cepeda. And the only guarantee I can give you is this. Any Tuesday night, anything can happen.
God, you're so good at interviewing, Max. Jeez, someone give him an award.
It ain't about the game, it's about the game. You feel me, Max?
It ain't about the game, it's about the game.
She decided she was too good for Disney, and I was like,
she wins no matter what. Taylor
crazy.
Swift is always right.
Blaze Radio presents The World According to Zippy, Season 3. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. only on Blaze Radio and BlazeRadioOnline.com and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, why are you crying?
Charlie Blackmon's
Charlie Blackmon's gone. You got Zach Veen that will be ready to be called up in center field.
Who's Zach Veen?
You get to hear all about Zach Veen every Monday from 8 to 9 on Up on Deck on Blaze Radio.
Every Monday, baby.
The following is the Fatal 4-Way Podcast, and it is scheduled for one fall.
Join Luke Carter, Justin Lacertosa, Luke Galindo, and Dylan Oliver every Monday from 4 to 4:30, where we talk about all the high-flying, table smashing, eyebrow raising, limousine riding action, and professional wrestling.
Welcome to your favorite show where everything is untitled, unscripted, and unhinged.
Us Podsmiths and Yes Podsmiths are what professional podcasters are called. Let's just say we're your favorite Podsmiths.
On our show, we discuss a variety of different topics and segments, from the latest news to your favorite tunes.
And it's not just us. Every week we bring in a special guest to shake things up.
So join me, CJ Stevenson,
and me, Kate Nakamura, every Monday at 4:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio.
Hey ya! Want to stay up to date with what's up in the gaming industry? Want to listen to a girl yap about her gaming opinions and hot takes? Then tune in Wednesdays at 4 p.m. for Power Up on BlazeRadioOnline.com to join me, Chaz Alvin, as I walk you through the latest and greatest in gaming news, from PC to console, from indie to AAA, while also discussing what makes video games such an interesting and engaging art form. See you then!
We listen to the show for magic. We listen to the A-list to rant, to laugh, to argue, because we need that, all of us.
That indescribable feeling we get when the on-air sign lights up and we review movies you've probably seen before.
Not just entertained, but somehow informed. Much more than new. 12 noon, every single Tuesday.
Somehow, from Larissa, Gibbs, Zach, and Spencer, our show feels like you're talking to the 4 worst people you know. Because here, you are.
The A-list. We make movies worse.
Howdy everyone, it's Jack Footer, aka JFoo, and I'm here to let you know the JFoo Show is back. Every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, I'll be playing you fantastic tunes from the JFoo theme of the week to get your Sunday fun day off and rolling and make you feel good. So tune in to the JFoo Show every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock right here on Blaze Radio, streaming exclusively at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Do you ever wonder what the backstory is behind some of your favorite songs? Where do artists get their inspiration from? Hi, my name is Nicola Hendro.
And I'm Brooklyn Cohen, and welcome to Inspired. On Inspired, we will be sharing some of the fun facts behind the iconic songs you know and love.
Tune into Inspired on Blaze Radio at BlazeRadioOnline.com every Monday at 10 a.m. Arizona time as we break down the inspiration behind the iconic lyrics.
Get inspired!
Hey guys, we're Liv and Maddie, and this is our specialty show, Out of Tune, on Blaze Radio. If you listen to music, we like to talk about it. Tune in for live concert coverage and ticket giveaways on Mondays at 2:30 to 3. Tune in!
We were just a couple of posers with guitars. They were always out of tune.
Do you like Philadelphia sports?
Do you think Tanner McKee is the best third-string quarterback in the NFL?
Does Nate Gary bring up bad memories?
Is the Philly Fanatic the best mascot in sports?
Then you should tune in to Philly Out West on Blaze Radio, the show about all things Philly sports based in Phoenix.
Jack Hartsonis and Charlie Limoncelli cover all the details of Philadelphia sports every Thursday night at 8 p.m. MST.
That's Phillies, Eagles, Sixers, and all the latest Philly news and culture.
We're bringing Philly to the desert.
The rise and fall of the Persian Empire, the history of shoelaces, the anatomy of a jellyfish, the difference between Portuguese and Portugal and Brazil. Have you ever wanted to take a deep dive on a topic like one of these, but just couldn't find the time or the means to do so? Hi, I'm DJ King, and on my show, The Depths of Knowledge, I do a deep dive on similar topics every Monday from 3:30 to 4. So if you want to know more about the world around you, come join me in exploring the depths.
Hey everyone, it's Alex Swift from Park the Bus.
And as we say now in my country, they brought the bus and they left the bus in front of the goal.
If you want to stay updated with the world of soccer, or hear 3 Arsenal fans tell you why we're better than Spurs,
but Tottenham, it's the history of the Tottenham.
come check out Park the Bus with me, Alex Swift, Alexander McDonald, and Bob Blue, Tuesdays, 9 to 10 a.m. at blazeradioonline.com.
All right. Here we go, guys and gals. And boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, drivers.
Race to blazeradioonline.com every Tuesday at 9:30 Arizona time for an hour of motorsports madness.
Join myself, Andrew Hazlett, and my co-host Ethan Ignatowski for the Loose Wheel Show. We'll tell you everything you need to know for the upcoming race week.
From news to predictions, we have you covered, so make sure to tune in.
Tyler Bednar, wake up. What time is it? It's bedtime. Okay, then why are you waking me up? No, it's time for It's Bedtime. It's a specialty show on Blaze Radio. That sounds cool. When does it air and what do you talk about? The show takes place every Wednesday from 11 to 11:30 p.m. I recap the past week of sports with special guests. That sounds awesome, Tyler. I'm going to start tuning in on blazeradioonline.com.
I thought I released a good album until Naughty Step said it was bad.
I hear this project and I am frustrated.
I better listen to Blaze Radio.
Hi, I'm Pedro. Did you know you can listen to anything? Blaze Radio says you can, and so do I. I believe that until listened to, every song, album, EP, and DJ set is hot until proven otherwise. And that's why I fight for you, headbangers. Hot FM. Hot FM on Blaze Radio. Listen live every Monday at 11 a.m. on blazeradioonline.com. That's blazeradioonline.com.
Is what I wanted. Is what I've been waiting for these cars to come off of this corner. And guys, it's showtime. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing today, boys.
Are you a racing fan or want to learn more about the sport? Join Cooper Burns and Eric List every Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Blaze Radio as they discuss everything from NASCAR to dirt racing and more on Fuel for Thought.
How to throw a football. How to hit a baseball off a bat. How to make a basketball go through the hoop and make that swish sound. These are all questions we wonder when we are learning how to play a sport. But have you ever wondered what it may be like to interview someone who is in the sports industry? Like how...
Back with you here in Kansas City. My name is Luke Lemmer. Zhao, Enrique with me. This should be a pretty good second half. We're set up after Utah took the lead 1-0 late in the first half on a nice counterattacking chance, catching star goalkeeper Jordan Knights unawares in the back line to take the 1-0 lead. But listen, Joao, we had a first half that was kind of not necessarily what a lot of people were expecting. Colorado controlling possession. Not something they like to do. They're much more a team that likes to sit back. Utah attacking, but mostly kind of just playing defense and just taking every punch that Colorado threw at them. I mean, you can look at the possession stats, and a lot of what Colorado, a lot of when Colorado had the ball was in Utah's half. Over, 60% of the time when they had the ball, they were in Utah's half. That's very telling. So how does that kind of manifest itself in the second half?
Well, look, if Colorado continues to do the same thing, I could already imagine that team talk from Danny Sanchez inside that locker room. What most likely happened here, he acknowledges that they have possession, that they need to take advantage of it, and that they need to, they need to go ahead and go for it.
Yeah.
Same thing. They have the time, they have the space. Let off an extra shot. Take advantage of what they're giving you.
Yeah.
And then with those opportunities in front of goal too, I mean, you have to be a stone cold killer, especially in the playoffs. And the playoffs is when it matters. I mean, it would be dumb to not take advantage of those.
Yeah, especially against a team that doesn't commit a lot of mistakes. I mean, both these teams are pretty mistake-free. I think Utah kind of likes to cover their mistakes by being a very aggressive attacking team. A lot of their inexperience falls in the back line. We were looking at a back line that played very, very well in the first half. I want to highlight Marin Granger, the Draper, Utah native, and the senior defender. She's kind of the experience back there for the Utes, and she did very, very well in the first half to kind of hold down that back line. But we get going in the second half. Colorado seems to have upset the referee a little bit with how they took the kickoff, so he's going to make them do it again. But Joao, I mean, one of these teams is going to come out on top, and one of them, to make adjustment, like both teams are going to have to make adjustments if they want to come out on top. So what does Utah do to kind of close out this game?
Like Utah close out this game, I don't think I think they maintain their aggressive approach. What that allows them to do is recover the ball. The more they have the ball, the less Colorado is gonna have time with it, and it's a less danger against them. Because you're maintaining possession, you're taking all the spaces, and I think that's what they have to do. Colorado, they just have to take advantage of those opportunities, just like how I said, and let's see how they play. Let's see how this game turns out.
Yeah, Colorado starting the second half aggressively, kind of just sending the ball into Utah territory and stepping up and pressing. Julia Hayward gets herself in a passing lane and kind of bats it around, but ends up at the feet of Fuosi for Utah, who's ultimately kind of shouldered aside by Faith Leba, who will go down in a foul from Kafusi. Leba played the entire first half, all 45 minutes. She's familiar. She's done that a lot this season. She's been kind of a workhorse for Coach Danny Sanchez in his 13th year at Colorado. And honestly, they probably aren't kicking themselves over the 1-0 scoreline. It's the zero and their goals that's probably killing them more than anything.
Yeah, Luke. I mean, they had multiple opportunities, and they just I don't know if it's
a clinical thing. I think off the free kick given by the foul, Colorado sends it deep into the Utah box, and yet another time we see Shira James get her head on the ball and not put it in the back of the net. She's got to be more aggressive, I think, with her head on the ball in the second half. She had a couple headers in the first that ultimately couldn't find the back of the net, but there's a foul committed by Colorado.
And I mean, if I'm Shira James, fifth year student, fifth year player, I mean, you're the experience. Set the example.
And a mistake here, Knights almost gave it away for another goal. That there was a deep looping free kick that just bounced real high. And Knights is not short. She's 5'7", but she thought she had it. She reached up. She ended up kind of glancing the ball at the tips of her fingertips, and it fell to the feet of a Utah attacker who couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But here comes Ava Priest and this Colorado attack that's looking for their first goal in 5 games. As they send the ball in the middle of the box, it's controlled by the Utah defense, and trying to work it out from the back here is Dudley. She's still got it on the far side, sends it up the sideline, and it just bounces harmlessly out of bounds. It'll be Colorado ball.
And Luke, it's so difficult to try to score and try to do something with that stat line you just mentioned. 5 games without a goal is absolutely, it's insane, and as Colorado, that's so low on morale too, entering the playoffs. No momentum whatsoever, and even if they were to score in this game, it's like you would have to build up so much momentum during the playoffs, during the tournament with the 12 best teams in the conference. I mean, it's so difficult.
Yeah, I completely agree. Off throw-in, we see a quick turnover and taken. Here comes Bloom down the middle of the field. She's kind of a tackle out in the left wing. Oh, she loses her footing, and the ball will just harmlessly roll to the feet of a Colorado defender. That's Leba there to clean it up. Bloom, kind of a source of aggression in the first half for Utah. She's not directly responsible for that first goal. She didn't score it, but she's had the ball at her feet a lot. She had a couple shots in the first half, and kind of had the assist to the assist, but ultimately it was Katie Calloway who put the ball in the back of the net for the Utes.
Yeah, I mean, she's been explosive, she's been disruptive, and she's just what Utah needs, especially on that counterattack. When you don't have players available, you need someone who's going to be explosive, someone who is not only explosive but knows what to do with the ball. If Bloom isn't running at you with the ball, she's doing feints. She's doing all these things to try to get past you and find the net.
A potential foul that's not going to be called. We saw Shira James go to ground there on the far side as you tries to build up from the back. Potential giveaway here. Hayward has it now. Hayward trying to operate down that left wing. Couple nice moves. She could cross it in. She chooses to. It deflects off the feet of Blaylock. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Colorado ball for a corner kick. Brooklyn Blaylock got her foot in front of the Hayward cross, and it'll be another corner kick here for Colorado. They had a couple of these in the first half. Got a couple good chances off of them. Shaw, what are you looking for here?
So, really, you're looking to find one of the Leyva twins. They're big in size, and really, you have players in the goalkeeper. You have to find one of them.
Yeah. We'll see what they can do here. 40 minutes left in the second half. The wind is whipping. This could be a difficult one. The in-swinger finds its way to the top of that. I mean, Laura Govan, she's doing her best down there. I mean, the wind is pretty insane today. You saw that ball. It was curving towards, it was going, the wind was pushing, trying to push it out of bounds. It was curving towards the middle of the box and then just carried and carried and carried, and it just kept on carrying, and then it hits the top of the net.
It's insane. It's insane the adjustments you have to make, and people don't account for that whenever they watch the game too.
A couple nice turns there. Now Katie O'Kane has it. She switches the field here. It's at the feet of Brooklyn Blaylock coming down the right wing for Utah. She's got options in the middle, but she pushes it even wider. Now finds Bloomfield. Bloom cutting on the right wing. Puts it inside. It takes a couple deflections. Goes out to the edge of the 18, and they're going to say handball. No, they're going to say, no, they're not going to call handball. They're going to say they're going to need the trainer over here. As it seemed like there was a couple deflections in the box. It was Phoenix Dawn Miranda who took the ball right off her face and is now holding her nose. Bent over with Knights there, making sure she's okay. We've had a stoppage in play, stop the clock. Really, that was a good chance for Utah. Lila Bloom, a couple step overs, cut down the right wing, fed it outside. We had Katie O'Kane with a chance. I mean, do you think Utah should continue to be aggressive in the second half, or they should just try to maintain this 1-0 lead?
They should continue to be aggressive. If Colorado is being aggressive, there shouldn't be a reason for them to go back, because if they fall back, with seeing how aggressive Colorado has been, you're inviting them to come at you, and that's not what you want, especially when you're up, especially when you have a whole game ahead of you.
Yeah. Chances seemingly hard to come by for Colorado in the second half after being very, very aggressive early on. Ball is batted around and is back at this back line for Utah as they try to build up possession from the back. We see Dudley with it in the middle of the field. She's looking for options, so push it up. It's intercepted by Leyba, who turns and finds her send it back partnership, who kicks the ball right off Leba's face, and now it's at the feet of Bloom. Bloom goes wide. She's got Kofosi. Kofosi looking for options. She's on the edge of the 18. Finds Bloom at the top. Bloom could try one with her left or her right. She cuts inside. Here's a shot with the left foot. It's blocked. Nice block by Leyba. They'll dribble out harmlessly towards the halfway line, but Utah still has the ball. They're probably going to come again. Operating on the left wing now. Hetzel with it.
Notice how Colorado isn't as aggressive on the press anymore.
As stepping in front of the pass there is Michaela Rosenbaum for Colorado, but still finding the feet of a Utes defender. I mean, we're seeing just Utah suddenly controlling possession here. Here's Bloom operating on that right wing now. She takes a chop inside. A nice slide tackle from Leyba. Not playing around. Big 44, making her presence felt. Not really her fault that her teammates pass went right off her face, and she's done well to make up for it.
She really got out of the way. Out of that clearance.
Campbell with the ball now in the buff. She sends it back for Knight, who clears it towards the middle of the field. A header, and ultimately it'll be controlled by Colorado. Coming forward is Shira James. She tries to lob it over the top and find Hope Leyba, twin sister of Faith Leyba, who is the defender who's making her presence felt. Hope Leyba, also a big body, but used a lot more kind of up front as a big target to find in the box. Utah building it up from the back here. We're seeing some aggressive pressure from Colorado. Still with possession, though, Utah. It's at the feet of Granger. Granger now looking for options. Finds the middle of the field. She gets it up ahead. Katie Woods. Woods now sends it up. Kofosi takes a couple deflections, and it'll fall to the feet of Faith Leyba. Colorado doing their best to operate as there's a near giveaway. It'll be off the feet.
Now, if you're Colorado and you're trying to get back into the game, that's what you have to avoid.
Yeah. Those giveaways cannot happen. As we see, a good sight to see Phoenix Dawn Miranda coming back on the field after that potential injury scare. She started 17 games in a row for Danny Sanchez's side in an 18-game season, so clearly after that first game, Sanchez has been trusting her a lot. The senior from Hawaii came pretty far. I mean, she would go far anyway if she was playing collegiate soccer on the mainland, but she came pretty far from her hometown to play here for the Buffs, and she's been a trusted presence, and she's been in that building for 4 years. Doesn't have a goal or an assist yet to her name, only 1 yellow card, so not a lot of positive stats, but not a lot of negative ones either. We'll see if she can find her way on the score sheet. As it's flip throw time. Ava Priest with it now, potential throw in for Colorado. She's done flip throws twice last time. She seems to be winding up to do one again. We'll see if she does it, and there it is. The flip throw catapults itself to the middle of the box, pangs off a couple defenders. Potential opportunity for Colorado is kind of quenched by Utah as it now finds the feet of Dudley. Tries to operate it up the middle of the field. It's kind of loose, bouncing around right now. Campbell has it. Now Hayward.
And
Hayward gets it back. Operating down that left wing. Takes a couple of step overs. Tries to put it in the middle of the box, but it's controlled well by Blaylock, and here comes Utah back the other way.
And it's nice to see how this game is transitioning too. It's starting to become
open up a little bit for sure.
Yeah, it's starting to open up a little bit, and that's what the people want to see, and it's better for the game too.
Blaylock gets to O'Kane, who gets it back to Blaylock. This is Brooklyn Blaylock, who finds it back to Bloom, to O'Kane now. O'Kane tries one from distance to flex off a Colorado defender, but ultimately outside of the goal frame, and here comes the Buffs on the counterattack, trying to be aggressive. This game opening up here to start the second half. Both teams know there's potentially 35 minutes left in their season. As it gets to Leba on the right wing. She tries to hit it up ahead to Priest. She doesn't. Priest turns it over. Now here comes Utah. Gofosi with it. It's one-on-one with her and Hope Leba. She tries one from distance. It's off the crossbar. A potential chance just right off the woodwork for the Utes. As here comes Colorado on the counterattack. Both teams kind of opening up and getting more aggressive here. A style of play that probably favors Utah, but, with just how desperate the Buffs might be, is there's a nice slide tackle from Shira James to put the ball out of bounds. It was off her foot, but it was a physical move that's going to make Utah thinking twice about challenging her when trying to build up from the back. What a chance that was from Kofosi's route. How did she get just that opportunity?
It was just being open, making the right runs at the right time. She saw Utah get the ball. She widens up, finds herself in an open position, and then against Leva, what she does against Leva, it's amazing. She takes a touch, she finds space, minimal. All you need is a slight crevice.
Yep.
All you need is a
All
slight
she needs
crevice.
is a little crease, and she fired it away.
Let's out an absolute rocket.
Yeah.
That was similar to Oklahoma State's game-winning goal in the first game, and this should be a wake up call for Colorado, because Utah keeps on knocking at the door, and I wouldn't be surprised if they knock that door down.
Yeah, Utah playing that they're 1-0 down, not 1-0 up. As we see some substitutions for the Buffs, we're going to get a feature out of Mallory Allen, who will tap out Juliana Hayward, who got her first minutes of the game in this second half. But another flip throw opportunity here for Priest. She's going to throw in from the near side. There it is. There's the flip. There's the throw. It twirls itself in the middle of the box. It'll fall down to the ground, but still maintained and controlled by Utah. As here comes Bastone with it. Tries to get it up, but ends up hitting it out of bounds. It's off the feet of the senior from Salt Lake City, and it will be Buffs ball again on the throw-in. And here comes Priest once again backing up for this flip throw.
I know I said it earlier with Cincinnati, but then I also want to commend Utah's transitional game.
Yeah.
Utah, the way they can cram players inside of a box, but when it's time to attack and move up the field, they work so well together as a team, and it's really been paying off from this game.
Priest tries to cross, couldn't get under it enough, and it leaves it a little bit short. Blaylock taps up to her sister, who now plays it back to the right back, and here comes Utah going forward, trying to keep it in bounds. They do successfully. What could have been a high kick is kept in bounds, and here comes Kofosi, one-on-one with the defender. Phoenix Dawn Miranda trying to do her best challenger and does successfully, turns it over, and now Laura Gobin will push it forward for the Buffs.
This could be a great opportunity for Colorado here.
They've got about even numbers here, which is pretty close to numbers for them so far in this game. Nice field switching pass, finds the feet of
Priest.
Priest now operating, cuts it inside, has a chance down the touchline. It'll be out of bounds off the Buffs, and it'll be a goal kick. But you mentioned it. You called it while that chance was building up. It was a nice opportunity for Colorado. They're going to want more of those because with all the pressure that they put on in the first half, it felt like they didn't necessarily like open up Utah for mistakes. You know what I mean? Utah going forward, they kind of leave their back line a little bit exposed, and they go forward that aggressively. And with Colorado, such a team that defends so well, they could kind of almost allow and invite that Utah aggression so they can take advantage of a couple mistakes.
And the thing, too, is that, I mean, Colorado has to start playing the ball quicker.
Yeah.
31 minutes left in the second half. You're losing by 1, and you don't want to go home today. It's barely the first round, but whenever you feel pressure, whenever you have people rushing at you, the way Utah is, you have to be quick. You have to be quick, but you have to be concise in such a manner where you can move up the field in such an efficient manner, but Colorado hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, trying to kind of be that controlling, patient, dominant team in the first half. It has its advantages, but not when you concede and suddenly you're down 1-0. Both teams, I mean, Utah always plays aggressive, and Colorado's going to look to play aggressive here. They find Blaylock on the near wing. She's going to kind of push into Buff's half. Tries to send it up ahead, looking for Bloom, but turns it over. Bloom tries to fight for the ball back. She gets it back and pokes it to Blaylock, who gets it to Dudley. Dudley trying to operate from the middle of the field, and here she is. Now coming down parallel to the edge of the 18. She tries to get it to Kofosi, who tries to tap it back, but a couple deflections will find the ball at the feet of Priest, who goes down from contact from Blaylock. And it'll be Buff's ball. Priest staying on the ground a little bit longer. She might feel a nagging injury, but with 30 minutes left in the season, these players want to continue on and fight to the end with their team.
And then especially for the fifth years and the seniors, I mean,
could be it.
This could be it. This could be it. It takes me back to my senior year, and
Colorado, a team that got 4th place in the Pac-12 last year, could have kind of enjoyed a nice postseason run last season, winning a couple tournament games. But this year, with higher expectations but a harder conference, it's a trap that a couple Big 12 teams has fallen into, as here's a counterattack from Utah. Kofosi with it now. She's one-on-one. She's defended by Karan. Tries one from distance, and it's just a bit wide. Kofosi not playing around. A quick trigger with these shots. She's trying them from outside the edge of the D. I mean, she is not, being impatient sometimes isn't a bad thing in soccer. She's trying to test Knights, trying to make her prove she's such a good keeper, and she hit the crossbar with one. She pushed another one wide, and now she jogs off the field to cede her position to Katie Calloway, who scored the goal in the first half.
And that's what you need when you're Utah. Utah right now is playing to the counterattack, and here's the thing. You're not going to maintain as much possession, and whenever you do and you have the opportunity, you're in the 18 to 23-yard range, go for it. But you never know. You never know. And sure, Knight is a great goalkeeper, but this is the beautiful game, and anything can happen in any moment.
Colorado with it now. Is going to take a deflection and go behind the Utah goal, so it'll be a corner kick for the Buffs. Buffs just searching for that equalizer. They're down 1-0, 28 minutes and 43 seconds left in this first half. They're going to have Price take the corner. They gave her a corner, not a throw. It was right on the edge there. It was right by the corner flag. They didn't give her a corner. First look, we're seeing it a Price corner. Govin took all of them in the first half.
Let's see if she flips
perhaps
this one too.
I was going to say perhaps something to counter with the wind. A flip corner would be something I've never seen before. As Price sends it in the box, back post, bat it around, and it'll be a corner from the other side. As Ava Priest leads the team in assists this year. She's an excellent passer. She plays in a very free-roaming position. But she will not take the second attempt at a corner. It's going to be that of Angelina Moschetti.
And the free roam is a tactic that is simply dying these days. You never see a player that can run up and down the pitch anymore.
Moschetti to the middle of the box. A chance here. No, it's kind of parried away and defended well by Utah, who now look to immediately counterattack. Up ahead to Bloom. Knight's kind of caught out of her box here. She twirls to kick it away, and she does. And now she boots it up ahead, takes a couple deflections, and it falls to the feet of Leba. They're going to call a foul on Bloom. Now they're rather going to call a hand. Knights was in midfield. Knights had come all the way out of her box, and that corner kick was at midfield and was kind of caught one-on-one with Bloom, who had a Colorado defender on her hip. Knights aggressive, though, coming out just saying, listen, I'm getting this ball, and you're not going to stop me. She clears it. It takes the deflection off the Utah hand and will now be a Buffs free kick from around the midfield position. We'll see how they can operate out of this. Almost everybody forward for Colorado. Aggressive set-piece tactics. They send one in the box. Could be offsides. No flat, and then there's the flag. Flag wasn't up for a minute, and you had to think, wow, what a chance here for Hope Leva. But she takes one touch, and the flag immediately goes up, and that will be, a nice free kick for Utah, who continue to, I wouldn't say defend with their lives, but defend kind of desperately as this game continues to go on.
Colorado is, little by little, Colorado's finding their grip in this game, and it's a little bit more strain on Utah, but they've managed well. And they must have practiced that offside trap in practice.
Yeah, it was well executed as the pass for Katie O'Kane goes a little bit long, and it'll be controlled by the Buffs, and now they push forward. Oh, no, here's a quick turnover. Hutzel with it. She finds Bloom on the right wing. Bloom trying to be tackled by Stanley. No givings there as Bloom tries one from distance, hooks just to the left of the goal, and hits the sponsorship board behind it. It'll be Buffs ball with 26 minutes left in this first half. Some more substitutions for Colorado. We're going to see in comes Emerson Lane, number 3, and Hope Leba will step out. Hope Leba, 5 goals to her name this season for the Buffs, but Emerson Lane, she's also got 2 goals, 2 assists. She can be a little bit more of a distributor, and that seems to be what Sanchez is looking for out of his Buffaloes. As there's a chance here, Colorado in the box now, could cross it. They choose not to. Back outside, now towards the penalty area. There's nobody there, just no bodies in the middle for Colorado. Utah clearing it desperately, but it'll still fall to the feet of a Buffs player. That's Mallory Allen trying to control it. She's in a one-on-one scrap here with Blaylock, but it's sent out wide, and now here comes Brooklyn Blaylock, the younger one, pushing up the right wing.
And
operating with the ball at her feet now, gets it back to Dudley, and Utah just trying to build up from the back.
If you notice on that last Colorado play, that's what's going on. That's what's wrong with them. That's what's hindering their attack. It's simply the timing. I mean, their timing is off, and you can see it.
Bloom plays one through as there's a chance at the back post, but it's going to be a little bit too far. As Knights will grab the ball quickly from behind the goal, encouraging her team on. 24 minutes. And listen, anything is possible. You mentioned that Cincinnati-Oklahoma State game earlier today. Cincinnati, big underdogs in that one. The lowest seed allowed into the tournament, up 2-0 with 15 minutes left. The Cowgirls say, not on our watch, and score 3 goals in the last 15 minutes. Come back, win that game 3-2. We could be in for similar chaos here today, but ultimately it's going to fall on, can Colorado put the ball in the back of the net, which right now they haven't done it in the last 5 games. They're not doing it right now.
The first half was Colorado versus Colorado, basically.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see how such a great team is struggling so bad. I mean, this game could have been 2-1, 3-1, but we can't focus on the what could have been. We can only focus on what is happening right now.
Dudley with it in the middle of the pitch for Utah. She's going to push her way towards the edge of the 18, and sort of through ball goes a little bit long and out of bounds. And here comes Knights begging for the ball again. As we see 2 substitutions for Colorado, we're going to get Juliana Hayward back on the pitch as she'll be joined by Rachel Rosen. Her fellow upperclassman, except Rosen is a grad student. This could be her last game for the Buffs. Juliana Hayward, a junior from Broomfield, Colorado. She still has a little bit left for this program, but not a lot left in this season. If you're Colorado, you got to start getting even more aggressive now. 23-23 left in this game. Utah leads 1-0 and now has the ball on the Colorado half. Operating on the far side, Bloom gets it up ahead. Dudley with it. A couple chop turns, looks to the middle of the field. She finds nobody else but Gunnier. Gunnier now, and it's intercepted. Her pass is taken by a Colorado defender. Looks to be Hayward, who is going to be just whistled for a foul. The ref said she had her hands on the back of Bloom. And it'll be Utah ball. Look at them getting aggressive with the set pieces, sending a lot of bodies into the box. Should be an interesting kind of experience to see how both these teams deploy their set piece tactics in the second half.
And it's nice to see how Utah's playing the adapt, not react.
Yeah.
They're not reacting to what Colorado is doing. They're adapting to it, and they're executing their game plan to perfection so far. I don't want to jinx it, right? But everything up to this point has been done very well by Utah.
As they send one into the box, Knights coming out to claim it, and nobody touches it. Scary moment again for Knights as she continues to be aggressive, but it goes out of bounds somewhat harmlessly for the Buffaloes, who, Knights will take a breath, put the ball down. Substitution here for Utah. We're going to see a feature from Callie Blaylock, and Lilia Blum will step out. Blum has been excellent today for Utah. Just, showing that veteran leadership, just kind of being everywhere.
And that's the good thing about Blum. She provides leadership in an area where Utah simply doesn't have that experience. It should be good, and it should set up Utah at least offensively for a couple years too, having Bloom and just showing the younger ones the ropes and how do you play some Utah soccer.
Yeah, I agree. She's done it. She's an embodiment of the program in some good ways. Not super local. She's from Wisconsin, not Utah, but nonetheless, she's a hard worker. She's been there for a long time, and she embodies, I think, what they have in mind when they say fight like a Ute. Yep. And so with her stepping out now, where does the attack come from if you're Utah?
I think the attack is going to come from the opposite side of the field. Now that Blum is off, I think they're going to focus more on possibly O'Kane. If not, it's going to come from the middle of the field. Yeah. It's mostly because O'Kane is the other possible option that I can see that isn't as explosive as Blum, but she can still put something to the board, and then through the middle, you're most likely gonna have to rely off your striker. If not, I mean, it's
we haven't seen tons of stuff from Kofosi. I mean, a couple shots she hit the woodwork, but she hasn't really operated and gotten in close so far today for the Utes. But she plays a nice two-person game there with the midfield, especially Katie O'Kane. They have good chemistry as we send one up towards the front. This is Blaylock, Callie Blaylock, the freshman, and there's a save needing to be made by Knights. Chose to not use her hands, had to stick her leg out and parry the ball away. It'll be out of bounds. It'll be Utah throw-in about 10 yards short of the corner on the far side of the field. To take it seems to be Ava Hutzel. For a Utah team, I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. They're playing like they're 1-0 down right now.
And it's working. It's working. They have the urgency, and think about it. They're keeping Colorado more on their toes than Colorado is keeping Utah on their toes. They're making Colorado desperate, which is going to help them recover more balls in the middle. It's going to help them recover more balls in the final third, because Colorado is going to be forced to do something. Going to be forced to do something, to give a pass and in desperation. That's all it is. They're trying to force desperation, and really, they're doing it to perfection. I mean, look at how the Utah players are chasing after the ball. They want their chance. They want their opportunity, and Utah's going to tire them out in the process.
Yeah. Colorado just being aggressive. I mean, it feels like Colorado hasn't touched the ball in the Utah half in the last 5 minutes. I mean, it's been impressive as it's just sent about 12 rows. Wow, landed on the second deck. Casey Wardle not playing. When the ball comes back to her, she said, listen, I'm clearing this, and we're going to waste some time. She hits it above the CPKC stadium sign that separates the second and the first deck. They're going to retrieve the ball, make some substitutions for Colorado. Hope Leba back on the field, going to replace Jace Holvey. Laura Govin back on the field. She's going to replace Lola Stanley. As the Buffs kind of look to their starters here at the end, as there's a potential cross has just not found the feet of any Colorado player. So Utah gets the ball back. That was kind of Colorado's first real chance, it feels like, in the last 10 minutes. As it gets up ahead to Kofosi, she tries to operate through a couple defenders, but it turned over and at the feet of Leba now. Leba pushes it up ahead. She's looking for options, kind of going a little bit farther than usual. She's tackled from behind, and they're going to say foul on Kofosa. Aggressive defender and aggressive attacker, and with Leba wanting to push up, and the Utah attack not letting her get out of her position, just fouling her from behind, saying we're going to let this clock bleed, slow this game down.
I mean, why not? You're up. You want more, and Colorado is getting pushed back to the wall little by little. I mean, why not? And Colorado, really, they also need to focus on moving players, on finding spaces. And
long ball here and a chance. Leba pokes it. It could get in, and it does. It finds the far post. A long ball off a free kick. The ref will give the goal, but it's just nobody seemed was sure if the ball was live or not. But Leba said, "I didn't hear a whistle," and she cuts right through the Utah defense. It was almost at the feet of Casey Wardle, who was just coming up to collect it. And Leba pokes it in, and it bounced in off the far post. Now Wardle gets a yellow card, And the Buffs are right back into this off a set piece. It's Colorado 1, Utah 1, 17-31 left in the second half. So, wow, that almost came out of nowhere.
I was just talking about what they needed to do offensively, and they score, which I find hilarious. But Leyva on that play is the embodiment of a Big 12 striker, an absolute poacher. Finds the ball, looks for the ball. It was basically out of her reach, and just with the tip of her boot, slides it past Wardle, and Colorado seems to have life when they were flatlining there for a second.
And just like that, we have a game. Wardle, I mean, she is just confused. She's confused that could have happened. I mean, her back line, half of them were playing and half of them weren't. You know, Colorado takes it. They had a free kick close to the halfway line. They took it quickly. They took it aggressively. Nobody really tried to make a run past the Utah back line except for Leyva, who just said, "Hey, didn't hear a whistle. I'm going to keep playing until I hear one," and just poked it right past Wardle, who came out to collect it. The boot went a little bit high. I think that might be one of the things Wardle's clamoring for. The Leyva's boot probably hit Wardle right in the chest, but the ref didn't see it. Ultimately, gives Wardle a yellow for dissent. And it's 1-1. Utah and Colorado with 17 minutes left in this first half as Utah gets the ball with a couple deflections and will take a goal kick.
It sort of reminds me of that Utah goal.
Yeah,
in that Utah goal, the Colorado center backs were basically asleep. They were just getting out of bed. And the same thing happened to Utah, and Leyva's just there. She takes advantage of the opportunity, which was something we had mentioned time after time after time with Colorado. And it finally happens for them. Good for them.
Finally, some luck for the Buffs in terms of deflections. But now we're going to see even more aggressive Utah. I mean, this game has really opened up. Just some of them, you and I as observers, we're happy about that the game was opening up. And now, I mean, Utah kind of dominating the shots 14-8. But really, this game's been pretty even all day. I think it's fair and just that we have a 1-1 scoreline.
For sure. And I mean, look, if you see Utah right now, I don't know. I don't know. That they can be aggressive, but not over aggressive.
Yeah.
If Utah becomes over aggressive, they're gonna leave gaps, and Colorado can just slip right through those and find that game winner.
Priest with it now in the middle of the field. A foul is given off a kind of a body check, you could say, by Katie O'Kane. Utah bench not happy, and here comes the yellow card. It's gonna come out for
Bella Woods.
Bella Woods, I believe. Yeah, Bella Woods is gonna get a yellow card. That's 2 yellows in the last 5 minutes. I think, to be completely honest, I think Utah's bench has a point there. There a very similar contact occurred about 5 seconds prior to what was ultimately called a foul. It wasn't called a foul on Colorado. Utah commits the same offense. It's called a foul on them. Bench not too happy with that one. But another set piece here, another threatening chance. We're going to see the Buffs try to take a 2-1 lead here late. They're going to chop it forward. Hope Leyva running in again and almost collides once again with Casey Wardle, who comes out and collects the ball calmly on this occasion.
But here's the thing. If you're Utah, I understand that you're frustrated. I understand that you feel like you deserve to be winning this game and that maybe the call isn't right. But you can't lose your heads, especially we were discussing the possibility of extra time or penalties. There's still... If this game stays like this, there's still a lot more to play, and you can't mess it up by losing a player because of dissent or because of a harsh play.
Bullock with it now on the right wing, edge of the 18. She turns it over, and a nice tackle defensively, but Campbell can't control it for Colorado out near the halfway line, and it's back to Utes ball. Dudley with it now. She's operating up that right wing. She's into the 18 now as Campbell steps in, goes shoulder to shoulder, and no foul is called. Nice physical play. Hope Levy heads it up ahead, and here comes Emerson Lane. Lane with it now. It's one-on-one down that left wing. Takes a couple steps, pulls it out, finds the middle. Here's Price. She has one more to her right. She doesn't take it. She fires distance, and it's just a little bit over the crossbar. She had one more to her right. Laura Govan was just going on a nice run, jogging down that right wing with no defender in front of her. Price said, nah, I got this. Pulled from outside the D, and it just goes a little bit over the bar. But you got to like the aggression for Colorado. They feel like a whole new team. Just got that equalizer. There's 14-28 left in this half, and they seem like they're playing with joy right now. That weight lifted off their shoulders, and I'm interested to see. I mean, how do you think their aggression is going to serve them both good and bad in the second half?
Well, good. Obviously, you're going to have more opportunities like the one that Price just took. Bad, it's the same thing as Utah. You can be aggressive, not over aggressive, because they're going to leave gaps, or they're going to become gassed, and they're not going to be able to create anything else.
Hope Leba gets it now wide to Hayward. Hayward finds Lane. Lane in the box, takes a couple turns, going to look to cross it. She goes to the middle, but there's nobody there but a Utes defender who pushes it back out, but it still finds the feet of a Colorado player. Couple pangs, and Kafosi almost forces a turnover. She does not. Now here comes Miranda. Miranda with it. She gets it to Priest. Priest operating, trying to find some option kind of on the edge of the D. They're still in the Utah half, but not necessarily in a threatening position just yet. Priest just trying to operate her way through a lot of Utah defenders. Can't find a path as she fouls Bloom. That was just a frustration foul. She didn't have a lot of options, lost the ball, saw Bloom with it, said here's a little forearm check, knocked Bloom over, and that's going to be a foul. No card though, so it'll be Utah ball.
It could have been a card if the referee really wanted to. I mean, there's criteria for that, and there's absolutely a reason to give her a card. But here's the thing that I was about to say before Utah scored, before I was interrupted by Leva. If you're Colorado, you have to start checking in more.
Yeah.
When you check in, A, you either bring a defender with you, or B, you create another outlet to play to, and I mean, as soon as you do that, you have a lot more opportunities. Because if you draw the defender, you take the space, you get closer to the box, you can even pull outside the box. That's fine.
And you say checking in. Describe checking in.
So checking in, for example, if I have the ball and I have the defender on me, if I have Luke near me, Luke runs towards me. Luke is saying, "Hey, I'm here for the ball. I'm here. I'm here. I can receive the ball." Mm-hmm. If Luke has a defender on him, and it gives a space, beautiful. I can take that space because Luke brought a defender with him.
It's about like drawing the defending, opening up the space.
If not, if Luke is open, I can use Luke as an outlet, and you can do something. You can do something with the ball to get us either closer to goal, or if you have the time and space, take the shot.
Runs into the box, definitely something we didn't see a lot out of Colorado until recently. And they almost scored on a cross. They did score on a set piece. They're operating without the ball at their feet pretty well right now, as there's a through ball to Kafosi. Kafosi has it. She could try one at the back post here. She does. Nice save by Knights. Stuck her left foot out and popped the ball out towards the edge of the 18. It'll be controlled by the Buffaloes, and here they come back the other way. That was a nice save for us out of Knights. Kind of the first time she's had to play hero ball. Wouldn't really describe it as a one-on-one, but Kafosi was kind of coming down the edge of the 18. Had a defender on her inside hip, but ultimately cut the outside, tried one back post, and a nice save made by Knights. The Buffs will build it up from the back.
And I mean, Kafosi has 10 goals this season. She definitely
goal
knows.
Score.
10 goals scored this season. She definitely knows what she's doing. But at the same time, it's this game has some examples of why Jordan Knights was selected Big 12 Keeper of the Year.
Yeah.
That play at half, I feel like you would either be very naive to do it, or you're confident enough and you have enough experience like Knights to know what you're doing and to go out there and make a play like that to stop danger. Because if not, it's a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And one-on-ones, they most times they end in a goal.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, Knights played the angle very well. Goalkeeping's all about kind of closing down angles, similar to in football, American football. Tackling angles are very important. Goalkeeping similar. You want to seal off the angle, make it hard for the attacker to get a good shot off as the ball takes just actually 0 deflections there and sails harmlessly past the Utah goal. It'll be a Utah goal kick with 10.5 minutes left in the second half. Joao, it is Colorado 1, Utah 1. Are we going to see a goal at the end of regulation?
I don't think so.
You think this game is overtime bound?
I think this game is overtime bound, and it's just because of the way both teams are playing.
Yeah.
It's aggressive on aggressive. Both of them are gonna have opportunities to do incredible stuff, but I don't think anybody is gonna take advantage of it. And if somebody scores right now in this moment, I'm gonna
perfect announcer jinx if somebody scores, but luckily for you, when you're jinxing it, the ball takes a couple deflections and goes off of Hayward's foot out of bounds. It'll be Utah ball. It'll be Blaylock to throw it in. She gets it back to Granger. Granger sends it up ahead. and it'll just find the feet of no Utah player. It'll be buffed ball inside of 10 minutes now to go.
But I also want to mention the point that you put in the first half, which was Colorado wasn't going to switch their style of play until they scored.
Yeah.
Which you were totally correct in saying that. They're starting to use more forward runs, but they're still integrating the cross inside the box.
Yeah.
So they're altering it in many types of ways, and I mean it's worked so far, and Utah has struggled more on defense because of it.
Granger switches the field well. Hutzel goes to the middle, finds Katie O'Kane, who then will look for Blaylock on the right side. Blaylock now operating on the near side closest to us, gets it to Bloom. Bloom one defender to beat. She tries to go the long way around. She gets past Maschetti, puts it in the box. No bodies there. Off a Colorado defender. Utah that now has it. Edge of the 18. They send it back. It's at the feet of Dudley. She could switch the field, and she does. Now it finds Hetzel. Looking for a cross. Hetzel to the middle of the box. Kafosi the chance! Back in the no! Off the post. Are they going to say goal? They're not going to say goal. It hit the crossbar and the post. The angles were tough. I thought it went in. The ref says no. Colorado aggressive on the counterattack now. Here comes Levy. The ball will roll past her on a through pass from Hayward. What a chance from Kafosi right there. That was close.
I saw a ball touch.
I saw a piece of the net ripple.
I saw a piece of the net
But the coach says no. Hayward now just a little bit high. Wow, two good chances for both teams on both sides. That was about as close as you're gonna get without the ball going in. We're gonna show a replay for us here on the jump shot. That ball hit the upper 90. So in the upper 90 is like the top right angle of the net. It hit the crossbar in the upper 90. Then it hit the post in the upper 90, and it didn't go in. I think that was a good call by the referee looking at it on replay. Wow, what a chance. I'm not sure if Knight got her hand on that or not, but regardless, hitting the post twice and not scoring is brutal break if you're Kafosi, as now Leba has it on the edge of the D. She swings it around. There's contact, bodies flying in a foul. It'll be on Colorado. They're going to say Holly stuck her leg out to prevent a Utah defender from getting to the ball, but what a chance for Kafosi. I mean, that almost could have ended the game right there.
Yes, and Colorado dodged a bullet there. They dodged a clear bullet. I think that's more luck. I think that's more luck overall. If not, it's one of those weird plays. It's one of those plays that you rarely see.
Yeah, I mean, to hit the post twice, for it to be the crossbar and the post, a bit of a double doink operation. Condolences to Bears fans, but this game's really opening up in the last 10 minutes. Kafosi now with the edge of the D. She gets it to Bloom on the edge of the 18. Bloom's gonna attack, kind of trying to force her way to the sideline, and it's poked away. A nice save. Ball's parried away by Knights. It'll roll out of bounds. They're gonna say last touch by the keeper, and it'll be a throw in about a yard away from the corner flag. For Utah, so basically a short corner. And, I mean, I don't know if they have a flip thrower like Colorado has in Priest. If they did, it would be nice, but I'm sure we'll just see a normal throw-in for Utah.
A flip throw off?
We could. I think the way Priest has been throwing them, it's hard to kind of say anybody can throw it farther than her, but the throw-in just finds a Colorado defender who then controls it, sends it back to a teammate or two, and the ball will trickle out of bounds off of a clearance. So it'll still be Utah possession now. They're still not Colorado half. But this is kind of where Colorado likes to thrive. They like to thrive in tie games where they're winning, like to sit back. As there's a counterattack. Chance here. Jace Holly looking for options. She sends it up the left wing. Here's Hayward. Hayward could put the ball back in the box. She chooses to. The back post run is just a little bit wide. It was a good chance for Shira James. A nice dummy run. Kind of what you were talking about, checking. Jace Holly made a nice run to draw a defender with her, and suddenly there was nothing but green grass and a goalkeeper in front of Shira James who couldn't really cleanly get her boot on it from the edge of the 18, and the ball will just trickle to the right of the net with 6:15 left in the second half in a 1-1 game.
I don't know if James is a lefty. I don't know if James is a righty. Besides the point, Colorado had somebody check. I felt like James could have taken more time.
She could have taken a touch for sure.
Control with the left and just absolutely hit a rocket with the right.
Yeah.
But Leva's going inside the box.
Leva now the cross is scooped up and collected. Orla with a nice save. Leva showing a little bit of pace. They're kind of putting her head down, kind of getting on the horse and legging her way past Hutzel, who's been on the pitch this all 90 minutes for Utah. Hustle's not had a break yet, and Leyva has. So I think we're seeing maybe fresh legs versus tired legs. We mentioned this in the first half. You know, Utah with their aggressive style could end up tiring themselves out by the end of the game. Colorado was just patient, equalized 1-1, and now with 5.5 minutes left, it could really be anybody's game. Pushing ahead, Dudley checks and doesn't get the ball. It'll fall at the feet of Hayward for Colorado. She sends it up, but it's controlled the through ball a little bit too far. Bloom trying to get it up to her striker. She can't. It's taken by Colorado. Now they send it out wide. Laura Govan with it. Corner kick expert now has it on out wide, trying to cross the ball in. She can, but it's taking deflections, falling at the feet of a Utah defender who tries to clear it out away from the back line. She does. It'll go out of bounds, but it'll be a throw-in, not a kick. Priest is not on the pitch right now, or else she'd be ready to flip and kind of fling that ball into the middle of the box. But ultimately, the throw-in's just taken short as they send towards the middle of the box. It hits the ground, takes a couple deflections. Asking for a handball is Jace Holly. She's not going to get it. Another Utah clearance, and it'll be another Colorado throw from about the same position, I'd say. We're basically on the edge of the 18, like the outside of the 18, kind of extended to the sideline. We're about 18 yards away, just kind of up the sideline. As the wind gets even started, I mean, the corner flag's about to get ripped out of its position. But Price back on the pitch. Know what that means. It is flip throw o'clock, Shoau, as Price winds up and swings the ball into the middle of the box. Takes a high arcing path, chested and played back to Price. She'll operate now towards this left corner. Puts the ball on the outside of her left boot, swings it in the middle. There's bodies there. It finds the back of the net. Price from an impossible angle. Unbelievable into the side netting. Just over the hands of Casey Wardle, and the Buffs lead 2-1 with 4.5 minutes left in the game. Ava Priest, her 4th goal of the season is incredible. Seemingly no celebration, as cool as you'd like. How did that go in? She swung the ball on the outside of her left boot and said, I'll put the ball in here, cross in the middle of the box somehow. It just gets over the hand of Casey Wardle and into the side netting. Unbelievable. The Buffs lead 2-1.
I think it could have been the win, but at the same time, you said it very well. I don't know. Looking at the replay, I don't want to blame Wardle because that ball, the way it went in, it had no backspin on it. It had no type of spin. Now,
the win is a factor. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, the win is a factor. That was probably a pretty crazy movement in the air, but nonetheless, that was incredible.
Here's the thing. I've been observing the American flag. There's moments where the wind is blowing exactly east, and that flag is going east. It could have been a moment where maybe the wind took up the ball and just unbelievable. Colorado.
Incredible. From you and I were looking at each other thinking, hey, this team is good, but, no goals in the last 5 matches up until today. Suddenly they score 2. And I mean, take a bow, Ava Priest. Just an incredible game from her in that free roaming role. And now Utah suddenly, how fortunes can change. 4 minutes left in this game, 4 minutes left in their season perhaps, as they're going to get even more aggressive than usual as the through ball is a little too long and cleared by Colorado.
And welcome to the boot game. Every ball Colorado gets from now on, expect a big boot down the field.
Just trying to waste time.
And here's the thing, and we mentioned it earlier. If Colorado got a goal and they got momentum, it's gonna be difficult to build that up, especially from 5 games without a goal. If you finally get 2 goals in a game, how are you gonna do it against the number 1 seed TCU if they end up winning this game?
It's gonna be hard. I mean, still, they got to kind of stick to their identity. I think they're a defensive first team, as Shira James is going to just try to dribble this ball into the corner and waste time. Big-bodied striker can do that pretty easily. It's out of bounds. It'll be Utah ball. But 3 minutes left in this game, and the Utes got to get aggressive. I mean, they've shot the ball 16 times, 7 of them are on target, and they've got 1 goal to show for it. But this is where Jordan Knights can kind of flex her muscles a little bit, like play a little bit of hero ball if she wants to. I mean, goalkeeper of the year in the Big 12, not afraid to come out and be aggressive and make those necessary saves, as her clearance is kind of get lost in the sun by Ava Priest, who gets the ball eventually and puts it to the Colorado back line. Oddly enough, it feels like Utah's not being insanely aggressive. Maybe some dead legs. Maybe we're seeing some fatigue. But there's 2.5 minutes left, and they need a goal.
Colorado, I don't know if it was part of the plan. I don't think it was part of the plan, but if it was,
Better to be lucky than good.
Yep.
Wow, it's better to be lucky than good.
take a bow because Utah, it looks like they have dead legs. I don't see the same amount of intensity. I don't see the same amount of pressures. And I mean,
There's a potential giveaway here. It's rather will be collected by Wordle. She sends it up and out of bounds. We're about to be inside of 2 minutes left in this game. Could have been a potential kill shot for the Buffaloes, but 2 minutes doesn't go by quickly in soccer. And so we'll see if Utah can control possession. I mean, we know who they're looking for. They're looking for Kofosi. And the ref's going to call a foul on the Utah midfielder.
a day of comebacks so far here
wow,
at CPKC.
two good games so far at CPKC. Just incredible. I can't get my mind off that goal. She was looking to cross the ball in, and the wind might have taken it. Maybe it was on purpose, but it just gets over the hand of Wordle and falls into the side netting. And it was a Colorado lead as we're inside of a minute and 20 left in this game. This is big moment time for Utah. They really got to step up if they could actually get their boots on the ball as Colorado continues to just hold possession back here. Once again, kind of pouncing in the corner. They're trying to get the ball out. They do, and it's deflected from Colorado. So here it is. Listen, a minute left. Utes ball. They got to build it up here. They got to get something out of this chance. They, flick it up towards Kofosi. Ball is deflected once, collected, and finds the feet. Here's Blaylock now, and she will turn it over. Ends up back at the feet of Brooklyn Blaylock. 45 seconds left in this game. Utah's just got to get down the field. The boot up ahead, and here we go. It's at the feet of a Utes attacker. She sends it back. Here comes Katie O'Kane. O'Kane will send it up. Kofosi with it one-on-one. Takes the deflection. Who was that last off of? They're going to say it's Utah ball. 30 seconds left in the game. Kofosi to throw it in. Sends it towards a mass of Colorado defenders who boot it towards the halfway line. It's going to take a bounce, and it's going to go out of bounds. We've got 20 seconds left in this one.
That could have been a high kick.
That could have been a high kick, but they're not going to give it. 16 seconds left, and Utah just sends it back to their keeper. 13, now 12. Utah got to send it into the box soon. 8 seconds. There it is, the boot up the head. It's off the deflection. It'll be out of bounds. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and now 1. And that is the full-time whistle. Frustration for the Utes as they blow a 1-0 lead with 2 Colorado goals in the last 20 minutes of the game, but elation for the Buffaloes. Made the trip from Boulder and at least coming out of this tournament with 1 win. Joao, what led to the Colorado win today?
It was the unexpected. It was definitely the unexpected. Colorado had difficult moments at the beginning of the second half. A ball that goes over the top finds Leyva. Leyva scores, and it was a defibrillator for Colorado.
Yeah.
It brought them back to life. From there, you saw forward runs. From there, you saw people checking in, and from there, you saw people, doing what coach intended for them to do since the first half. They were finally being clinical enough, and they're finally with that hunger. Now Utah, they had played so well, but I'm not gonna say that goal is fortunate. I'm not gonna say that goal is intended, that pre-goal, but Colorado just they read Utah's game plan. They read Utah's game plan in the end. They tired them out, and that was the factor between Utah pulling a win and Colorado pulling a win.
And patience was definitely key for the Buffs. I mean, going down 1-0 in the first half, they could have kind of violated their identity. They could have tried to be something they weren't. And no, they didn't. They sat back and they kind of handled the Utah aggression. And when Utah, opened themselves up, they took advantage. And ultimately, your star players make plays. I think Ava Priest scoring the game winner's fitting. That's her 4th goal of the season. She's second highest on the team. She tied with Jace Holly for second highest on the team. But in a free roaming role, a lot of trust placed in her by Danny Sanchez. And also, you got to give a little bit of credit to Jordan Knights. I mean, we talked about her a lot. Big 12 keeper of the year for a reason. She made a couple big leg saves, including one on Kofosi, who's Utah's best goal scorer. And a win is a win for the Buffs. They move on. They will face the Horned Frogs of TCU on Saturday. Smiles all around for Colorado. Utah knowing that most of them will be back next year as Colorado stamps their ticket to the second round of the Big 12 tournament.
And Saturday is going to have fireworks. It's going to have sparks. TCU, obviously, best team in the Big 12. They were ranked 12 in the country at some point. But don't underestimate this Colorado team.
They've got the star players. They've got the defensive talent. And they have that grit. They have that come from behind potential. For Joao Lara, I am Luke Lendler. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with you soon with the third game of the day. But for now, eat a lunch, take a break, and we'll talk to you in 40 minutes.
Have a good one.
I thought I released a good album until Naughty Step said it was bad.
I hear this project and I am frustrated.
I better listen to Blaze Radio.
Hi, I'm Pedro. Did you know you can listen to anything? Blaze Radio says you can, and so do I. I believe that until listened to, every song, album, EP, and DJ set is hot until proven otherwise.
And that's why I fight for you, headbangers.
Hot FM. Hot FM on Blaze Radio. Listen live every Monday at 11 a.m.